Hey, what's up? This is Mary from Forward Films. If you're thinking about getting a marketing video for your company, this is a video you should watch. I'm going to talk about the questions you need to ask yourself before you dive into the creative planning of it, which is really tempting, so stay tuned. Should I say stay tuned? Alright, so have you ever watched a commercial or a marketing video for a company and you've thought, that was sick, we are going to do something like that? Or then you start getting all these creative ideas for what you're going to do for your company, and you're kind of turning into a wannabe movie director, and you're putting on your Quentin Tarantino hat, and things are spinning toward a certain direction. Dial it back just a little bit. There are some questions, some important questions we need to ask ourselves before we get into the creative planning to make your video effective. Question number one. What do you want people to do after they're done watching your video? Okay, so I don't want you to say, well, I want them to understand our story, or I want them to know more about our company. That's a no-brainer. I want you to think really tangible. What is the exact action you want people to take after watching? If you're a business, do you want people to buy your product? Do you want people to buy your product on your website in the next month? If that's the case, we need to make sure they know how to get to your website and create a sense of urgency so that it happens fast. If you're a nonprofit, do you want people to donate to your cause? Or do you want people to receive your services that you're offering? Those are two different calls to action, and they may require two different approaches in order for them to be effective. Bottom line is, this video is trying to elicit action. And if you don't identify what that action is in the beginning, then you can't target your content to make sure it's on point, right? All right, next questions. Who's going to be watching, and what do those people care about? Write down exactly the groups that you're targeting. How old are they? What are their habits? What do they care about? It may feel like you're going through the motions, but go through them. It's totally worth it. Doing that will help you get into their psyches, and then you'll be able to create content that's going to speak right to them. If your demographic is a bunch of older traditional types, I don't care if you like hip-hop music. It doesn't go in there unless you're targeting older traditional types that like hip-hop music. I don't know your business. Let's get back to nonprofit. Let's say you're trying to target the people that your nonprofit is serving. What's going to speak to them? Maybe it's a mashup of testimonials from people that they can relate to, saying, yes, this worked for me. If you want donations, who do you want donations from? Whom do you want donations from, right? Object of preposition. Yeah. Whom do you want donations from? If you want them from foundations, what do those people care about at the foundations? Maybe they care about metrics and measuring your impact in numbers. If you want them from individuals, maybe they don't want to see all the charts and graphs of the numbers. They want to know the personal impact stories. Maybe you only have enough money for one video, and you need to make sure that you think about doing both of those in one, or creating one video with two slightly different versions. Knowing that ahead can make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. Okay. Next. How do those people we were just talking about find out about you? That helps you decide, how are you going to share this video? You need to know that going in so that you can create content that matches your distribution format. Distribution format sounds really big and technical. Anyway, that's just the form that it gets shared in. If the only way people are finding out about you is online, and you know that's how you're going to share this video, it's probably going to need to be short. People have short attention spans, terrible ADD online, because there's always another flashy link that's going to pop up in their newsfeed competing for their attention. So it needs to be probably 1 to 3 minutes. Let's say you're a nonprofit and you're going to show this at your big annual gala. You're hoping that's where you're going to rake in all the money, and you need to make a big impression. Show your video there, you got a captive audience. That video is probably going to be more compelling than any of the speakers behind a podium. Go ahead and stretch it out, make it a little longer. They ain't got nowhere to go. If you're a nonprofit and you want to reach the people that you're servicing, but maybe they don't have access to the internet, then you got to rethink your distribution strategy. Maybe you're going to have to get it into the hands of other groups that can show them the videos, and you want to reach out to them first to make sure that this investment is worthwhile. Whatever you do, decide up front, and then you can have peace of mind that your money is being spent wisely. So after you have all those things figured out, what do you want people to do after watching your video? Who will be watching? What do they care about? How do they find out about you? And how will you share your video? Then we can start getting into the fun, creative stuff. 2 more questions I want you to think about. When you're thinking about content, think back to those people that you're trying to reach, that you're trying to get to do that action. What do you want them to understand by the end of the video? What do they need to understand to say, I'm gonna do that action? What light bulb needs to go off in their head? Fill in the blank. If they understood this, that's your blank, then I know they would be compelled to take action. Also, play devil's advocate. Is there something that people misperceive about your brand or your organization that is an obstacle to them doing that action? Ask yourself, if I could get them to get over that, then I know they would move forward. So that's the head part. Then we're gonna go to the heart. How do you want them to feel when they're watching your video? Start writing down adjectives. Maybe you have a sports product and you want them to feel pumped, motivated. I'm not the sportiest person. What are some sporty words? Energized, powerful, motivated. I said that one. Y'all get the idea. Maybe you're a social enterprise and you want people to feel empathetic, inspired, connected, part of your movement. Video is so powerful when it comes to getting to people's emotions. Think about how people bring boxes of tissues when they go to the movies or they're yelling at the screen. If you can connect with their emotions on an authentic level, then you'll be able to reach the people who really want to get involved and you can help them. If you do it in a shady way, then just stop. That ain't cool. Okay, I think that's all I've got. Y'all remember not to skip this stuff. If you're planning a marketing video for your company or your organization, it's super important. I know it's tempting to dive in and put on your director's hat and get into the creative planning, but at the end of the day, you want your video to get people to do something, to have results. And if you don't think about these things first, then all the creative fun stuff doesn't matter. If you want to chat more, you got questions about any of this stuff, or you want advice for your own organization, then the company I co-founded, 4 Films, offers a free consult. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.